Hi, welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michele Hartwig, and I am the race director and owner at Ornery Mule Racing. And so I'm here today with, I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Natalie Brunson, and I'm from Rockford, Illinois, and I am a trail runner.
And I'm Kyle Braun from Broadhead, Wisconsin, and I'm also a trail runner too, I guess.
Yeah, so we decided that today we wanted to talk about winter trail running and and maybe motivation getting through it and like tools that we need to get through it. I know the idea came from when I was talking to Natalie, and I've been really good the last few weeks at just complaining that I have to go run in the cold like crazy. We've got races to train for. So, I don't know, once you start following the tips, I think it helps a little bit, and maybe some stuff that's helped us.
Well, you know what they say, there is no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate gear.
Yeah. So hopefully, we'll have something to share. Maybe, and I think we're going to start off by talking about us as runners a little bit. So that way, maybe, somebody listening at home has an idea of, what we're doing and see if it can relate to them. So why don't you guys start? I'll go last.
All right. So I'm a college student right now. So I have a track season going on right now, indoor track. But being part of the distance group, we do a lot of our stuff outside because doing 50 laps on an indoor track doesn't sound like a great idea. Going outside a lot. It's just a lot of preparing for the elements, I suppose. Layering, I think, is really important, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And then I guess something that I'm training for right now, I'm going to be doing Frozen Gnome, the 10K, the first weekend of the year. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So I'm training for the Yeti Winter Trail Series. I'm doing it with my 12-year-old son, so it's 4 races, December, January, February, March, 3, 6, 9, and 12 miles, and he's super excited about it. And I'm also doing the Bald and Yielding Twilight 12-hour night run in February as training for a Potawatomi 100.
And that's a cold race. Like, that's very well known for being cold.
Well, every year I've been there, it's been really warm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping that I am the one who brings the warm weather. And I probably shouldn't even say that because now we'll have like a blizzard.
Yeah.
But every year that I've been there pacing or running, we've had really fantastic. When I did my 50 miles there, it was 70 degrees. So I'm very hopeful that will continue for this year.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just came off of finishing Tunnel Hill 50-mile race. And my next race that I'm training for is Black Canyon 100K. It's a Western States qualifier if you finish it under 17 hours. And it's gonna be hard for me to finish under 17 hours. It's a technical trail. And I looked up the pace. I think it might be like about a 17-minute mile total. And it's kind of downhill at the beginning, but then it's a long climb at the end. And I'm just not that great at technical. So right now I'm training. I ran with Natalie today at Veterans Acres, kind of work on my trail legs. Still working, doing speed work and stuff on the prairie path that's right in front of my shop. I did a couple 8-mile progression runs this week, which I like speed work a lot, which I usually do like 4x6s or 4x9s or 5x9s and kind of play around with that. But I don't like progression as much. So I was really proud of myself that I did progression because then I get no breaks at all. You just keep getting faster. And I was glad that I felt good enough for that. But the weather is a struggle for me, and the wind and running on snow and ice. But it's gotten better. Like, you get used to it right at the beginning, you kind of grunt and moan a little bit about it.
And we don't even have snow yet, so far so good.
Yeah, we have had snow though. I've already wore we'll show our favorite gear, but I've already wore my stabilizers, which came in super handy. Have you done yours?
I wait until there's kind of like ankle breakers at Rock Cut before I start putting anything on. And we're really blessed in Rockford. The bike path, they clear it all the time. They clear and salt it. It's a really, really long trail. And so they're out there, 4:45 in the morning. I'm out there at 5. They've already taken care of it. So we're really blessed with that.
Yeah.
So.
Now, we were talking about that. We need to have a training run out there, like this winter.
That would be
like
fun.
A nice long run on that along the river too.
Yeah, and so many selfies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind training in the winter. I love doing speed work. It's my absolute favorite thing. But I'm not supposed to do speed work right now because I have proximal hamstring tendinopathy. So I'm supposed to do stairs. And I also like progression runs, but I like them on the treadmill because you have no choice. You just keep making it faster.
Yeah.
And like if you stop, you're going to fall off and everyone's going to laugh. So. But I'm less excited about doing speed work outside in the winter, obviously, because near the river it still can get icy, and you don't want to fall down and then ruin your whole spring season because you slipped and fell in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have a big goal of not falling down. I'm pretty good at that, at the falling down part, not at the not falling down.
I've mostly, crossing my fingers, I've been pretty lucky the past few years. But, in the dark, at least the ice shines, so you can see on the ground, like, oh, I got to avoid that spot. That's danger right there because the bike path is black. So if there is any ice, it gets shiny because the path is lit, which is another really awesome thing for winter training because we all know it's dark in the morning, it's dark at night.
Yeah.
But we've got a nice lit bike path that feels pretty safe. There's usually people on it, like from morning till night. Like, I'm always shocked how it'll be, 6 p.m. pitch black, and there's still people out there with their babies. I'm like, it's 20 degrees.
Oh my God.
And there's still people up and down the path running, walking, biking. So we're really blessed in Rockford that we have that.
Yeah, if anybody wants to do a training run there, like leave a comment in here and we will schedule that up. I think we should. I mean, even if it's just us three out there.
Absolutely. And really often, like most years, I usually schedule a New Year's Eve run where we'll start, 11:45 and then run in the new year. You don't have to run very far. You know what I mean? You can do a mile or two and then just stand around and have snacks and then go back home. So.
Yeah, I probably won't do that because Kettle opens up on New Year's Day. It's a busy day for me.
You're going to need to be well rested.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I usually sit in front of the computer, like when I get up, and I don't leave until like 6, 7 o'clock at night. Like there's just so many questions to answer and stuff. So yeah, I need my sleep that night.
That's okay. But we can do a daytime training run on the bike path. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, let's do that. And so then why don't we talk a little bit about gear and like what helps us get through the winter and what's worked for us.
Okay. Well, I'll go first. I love screws, sheet metal screws, hex head sheet metal screws. You can go on YouTube. There's a million videos to show you exactly how to do it. Yeah,
screws.
Absolutely. But people always get the wrong size screws. Not everywhere has these. I got these at Ace Hardware. Nicholson's Hardware in Rockford has them. You can get a little screwdriver that is magnetic that holds onto them. They're very tiny. So if it's poking you...
If you hold it in front of the camera and then put it here and like...
They're very tiny. So if it's poking you, you have the wrong size screw, and you just put them along the edges of your shoes. I usually just put it in the spots wherever you see there's wear on your shoes. That's where you want to put them. So you can have maybe your summer shoes that you've switched out, you're not going to wear them anymore. Just put screws in them. So just keep a hold of those summer shoes that you're not going to use on your regular runs. Throw screws in them on the really icy days. You're good to go. And if you have a box like this is going to last like 4 years. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal if you drop a screw.
And how much does it cost for like a box
like
that?
$5.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the screwdriver is like 11.
Yeah.
So, and you can use a drill also.
And also, you did it with just like right here. You don't even. It's not even hard.
Takes like 10 seconds, and you're going to put probably 12 screws in around the edges of your shoe, and they actually come back out. So if you wanted to continue to use those shoes, it's not actually damaging the sole of your shoe. You can pull them right back out and run as you normally would.
And you can't feel them when you're running?
As long as you have the right size,
you
cannot feel them. So you want like a 3/8. They're very, very small.
Okay.
And then put those in the edges of your shoes. They're cheaper than other things. They're easy to replace if you lose a couple of them. A box will last you several years. So I really like screws. We used to have screw shoe parties for our coyote runs where we would show everybody, this is how you do it. This is how you put them in. So excuse to drink beer.
Yeah, we should do that. I will show what I use in the winter, but it's because I probably put the wrong screws in because I could kind of feel them. I didn't really like them when I used the screw shoes. And, we've already had a couple days on the trail where, it was just an ice skating rink. I could not run without something under my feet. And a lot of times, I'll kind of just run off the single track trail in the crunchy snow, but everybody had already done that, so that was ice too. Okay. And so I pulled out these. I'll show what they look like. So these are by here, right there. They're by Hill Sound, and it's like a stabilizer. And I like these better than I've used the Yax Tracks, and for some reason the Yax Tracks, they catch all the grass and leaves that are on the trail, for me at least, and then they get caught up and it's thick. And even with these, sometimes it'll get caught up and some stuff will get in there, and then you just kind of knock it out really quickly. And it shows on here this is the front and that's the back, so they're real easy to put on. And I felt, it was super icy, and I was able to run just completely regular with these. I don't know how much these are actually, because I've had these for a lot of years. I would guess they're probably at least $50. They probably are closer to 100 is my guess, actually. Yeah. But this is what it looks like right here.
Okay.
And they go on really easy. And then I just keep them in my car. That way, if I'm surprised at the trail about the snow, if I get there and it's icy, then I can just run out and grab those on. So that's what I've been using, but I might try the screw shoes too.
I can leave you 30 of these. Yeah. This box is going to last me for 5 years.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'll have to try it. Yeah, we'll have to test both ways and see which one feels better.
I'll try yours, you try mine.
Yeah. So I'm a size 11 female.
And I'm a size 12 men's.
Oh,
my trail name is Flipper. Now everyone knows why.
Yeah, I have another pair at home. Maybe those are bigger, but yeah, we'll have to see if these will fit on your shoes so you can try them out.
All right.
And I have other stuff, but let's let Kyle share one of his things.
Yeah, so I didn't actually bring anything, but the biggest thing that I think I've kind of dove into has been waterproof and foot protection for staying dry and stuff like that. I find a lot of shoes with the Gore-Tex or Run Shield or whatever the specific brand calls it. And that's kind of my go-to for winter running because I don't really have many winter trail running shoes yet because I'm still kind of new to the whole thing. But I think that keeping your feet dry is very important. And you can kind of customize both with your shoes and your socks. And anything protecting a gaiter over your ankles and your shoes and things like that. That's what I would probably say is my number one thing for the shoe aspect of it.
Yeah, these right here, this is the Agility Peak by Merrell, and I actually just got done ordering the Gore-Tex ones, and I haven't used those yet. So this is my favorite trail shoe right now, which I'm kind of surprised because it's a lot more cushion than I normally do. So I'm gonna try it now in the Gore-Tex, so I can once those come in, I can share how those work compared to this. Honestly, my feet are the only thing that don't really get cold while I'm running.
You guys will have to tell me how you like the Gore-Tex. I've always been afraid of Gore-Tex because it feels to me if something can keep water out, it can also keep water in.
And that can be true. It's probably depending on the shoe. But yeah, I have had that before where I go out in the rain. Mm-hmm. If it gets in through the top of the shoe, the Gore-Tex layer is very protective from the outside. But if it gets in through where your foot goes in, it's probably not coming back out.
And all of my trail shoes drain really well. I wear Superiors and I wear Timps, and Timp just increased the cushion on their shoe actually, and I was really surprised that I liked it. But I just wear Smartwool socks because I feel like they drain really, really well, and you still stay warm because somehow if there's a water crossing, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna end up in it, and so that's why I've always just had this little Gore-Tex fear, I'm gonna be knee deep in water and then the water's just gonna stay with me, and I haven't had any problems. So I wear Smartwool socks all year round, and then I have Smartwool liner gloves that I adore, and I have 8 pairs of them, and you can put them underneath something else, but most of the time these are good just on their own.
Yeah, I have a few different levels of gloves. I have very breathable gloves, and then the ones that are thick And I even have mittens for when I know I want to like squeeze my hands and warm them up. And usually the lighter weight ones, when even no matter how cold it is, my hands will warm up.
Yeah.
And you can always, normally my jacket or one of the shirts I have on will pull down over my hands too if I need to cover it up.
I have a couple of pairs of big mittens. They're like little kid mittens. So they look like foxes. So because of our trail running group, I always say that they're coyote gloves. And if it gets too cold, then I'll put the smart wool inside of the mittens and I'll run around out there. So.
Yeah. And then I suppose for another thing that I kind of wanted to share, and it might be, specific to me. I'm 56 years old, and my skin, your skin gets drier as you get older, and the winter, the cold weather is really, really hard on my skin. And I guess I've been doing this for a long time. I bet you I've been doing this for 15 years, and so I will put like a heavy cream over my face before running outside, which helps a lot. Otherwise, my face ends up kind of being red all winter or like after a run and just kind of chafed. I mean, I'll put like squirrel's nut butter all over my face.
You don't break out from that?
I don't. Wow. No, but I wash it off when I get done. It's not like I keep it on, but it like makes a protective thing. But what I've been doing recently is this Naturium. It's a intense overnight sleeping cream. Like it just feels so good. I love the way this feels on my skin, and I've been putting that on because it soaks in.
Okay.
And it does, like where this will leave a greasy film, and it doesn't soak in because it's meant to be an anti-chafe. But this will soak in, but and if I put it on right before I run, it's enough to protect it. I wore it today when I ran, and my face, and it was cold. And we were out there for a while, and my face did not get all dried out at all. So like this I really love, but any kind of night very heavy cream. And then also, even though, like I like to take good care of my skin, and in the winter, my face gets tan, like from being, because you're still out in the sun. And I don't run at night like you do.
Oh yeah,
I run during the day.
Darkness for me. It's like darkness, my old friend, because 5 a.m. it's pitch black outside.
So I make sure I still do sunscreen, and so I figured I would share my favorite sunscreen, which is this. This is empty. I actually just got a new container, and I think I might squeeze a couple more out of here. But this one's 41 Spectrum sunscreen. It's got a little bit of a tint to it, so it's kind of nice because it kind of evens out your skin tone just a little bit. It's not like wearing makeup, but it just does a little something to kind of clean it up. But that helps me, like, because even in the winter, remember, you're going to be out in the sun, and we want to take good care of our skin. We don't get new ones.
Right. Well, and the reflection from the snow sometimes too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times, like during the winter, people are like, "Oh, did you just get back from vacation?" And especially if I'm running a lot of miles, even wearing sunscreen. But there was a time in my life that I didn't wear sunscreen all the time. My face definitely gets tan. Oh, it's definitely lighter right now, but it gets, than when you're running all summer, but it definitely is tanner than the rest of my body.
That's interesting.
Yeah, talking about that reflection off the snow, that's one of the few times I think in the winter is when I'll actually wear sunglasses while running. Oh, I rarely do in the summer, but winter it's like, okay, gloves, second pair of gloves, hat, sunglasses. Okay, now I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to shine off, and that's just make it even less I want to go outside. Like, I don't want to be
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And then, I'm drinking my water here right now. I didn't bring it, but how do you guys keep your water from freezing?
I have a insulated bladder for my pack, and even the hose is insulated. So I just switch it out. It's blue, so it's just my same pack. It's just insulated, so no problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I do like the handheld usually, so I'm always kind of moving it enough that it doesn't really have that issue. So
yeah, that's what I do. And right now I have a handheld that's not insulated, but the insulated one I've pulled out in the winter time because then it kind of I don't know, because it's always moving. I've never had a problem with it freezing at all. But I've also heard that if it does start to freeze, it freezes from the top down. So you can run with it upside down, and then like so so the part you drink out's out of the bottom, and then when you get ready to drink, flip it over,
Right.
and then the ice will be on the bottom. But I don't actually have a problem with it. My hands are hot enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though I do some long runs. Anything else that you guys got for?
I have a performance fleece by Under Armour. It's very, very, very thin. It's as thin as like a fall race shirt. But it's fleece, and so they're really, really warm. So I could wear something like this frozen gnome shirt just on top of this. Like today when we were running, I had this and a hoodie, and I ended up taking off my hoodie even though it was very cold, and I was totally fine. And this shirt has lasted me 10 years.
That's amazing. It's super cute too, and it looked really good with your hat. That was like this hat right here.
I've had them for so long. They've been really awesome in all kinds of weather. Under Armour has really good winter gear. I also have a jacket by them that's a winter storm jacket, and it's waterproof, it's windproof, it's super warm. I've been out in 20 degrees with just this hoodie. It's a zip up and a short sleeve shirt, and I wasn't totally sure like it was actually waterproof. And I remember we went somewhere for beer, and I spilled my beer, and it rolled down the jacket. And I was like,
"Oh my gosh!
Look at that! Would you look at that? It's real. It's actually waterproof." And both of those I've had like 10 years. Also, I've had the zippers replaced because I broke the zippers, but other than that, they're still in perfect condition.
Yeah.
So they last a really long time.
Yeah, the jacket I wore today, I had more layers. I dress pretty heavy. Like I wear a lot of clothes. I don't know. I do sweat, but I had on 3 layers on top and then fleece pants today. And that top layer I had on is pretty heavy. Okay. And it's probably, I got it at Running Depot. I used to run Running Depot social media. And so Pam would give me like some credits in the store to buy stuff. So I got that jacket from there. It has to be at least 15 years old. And it's pretty heavy, but I like that on all the days. It makes me feel secure because I'm like today I'm like, oh, it's so cold and I need to go run. And plus I ran a little earlier in the day. And I'm like, well, but I'm putting on my big, heaviest jacket. So
when I get warm, I'm always like stripping stuff off. But I have a couple of pairs of winter running pants that have built-in shorts, which is really great.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll pull out a skirt, like a knee-high, like almost mini skirt that I might wear in the summer, but I'll throw it on top of my running pants. And I'm like, let's just go. Because that seems to be the area that gets cold.
Yeah, the tush, definitely. Yeah, I have a pair of I wore fleece pants today. They were Athleta.
Okay.
And they've got like a fleece lining in them, and those are on the very cold days. And then the regular days I wear a pair of Rabbit, and I also have a pair of Athleta just tights. Those are the 3 tights I rotate in and out of. And then early in the year, sometimes I'll wear both. Like when I'm really not, I'm a bad example, but I'm fine. I can run. It's like I do well. It doesn't bother me. It's just that's where I'm secure.
Yeah, I sometimes when it gets really cold, I'll have on 2 layers. I have some smart wool base layers that I really like. So
yeah,
it just depends. And I think most of my winter running pants are already fleece. So
oh, okay. Yeah, and sometimes even though my head doesn't get particularly cold, I wear a stocking cap a lot, but if it's above like maybe like 35, I can wear this kind of hat.
Oh yeah, from 30 and above I can wear a regular hat too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean these hats are really nice, so I want to wear these.
Yeah, so. That's the wool, the what is it? I forgot the brand.
Merino
wool.
Merino
yeah,
wool.
merino wool, yeah. Natalie's favorite hat.
My favorite hat.
And what, Kyle, you were talking about some layering that you do?
Yeah, I'm big on layering. I now have a lot more of like the base layer and then the over layer instead of just sweatshirt. Like it works because it's layering and you can take it off if you need to, loosen up, whichever. But I think having like multiple lighter layers, especially if you stay somewhat kind of near like your base or your house or wherever it may be. You can just, take off one after the other, tie it around your waist or something like that, put it back on if you need to. So I think that's pretty much the basic extent of what I do.
Yeah.
Because that's all I really have to do, I guess. I have this this over, like they call it a base layer, but I use it as my outer layer from Craft. It's very, very comfortable. And usually with that, I'll wear like a lighter shirt under because it's pretty heavy. Or then for a under layer, I'll do that rabbit shirt that you gave me when we went to Western States.
Okay.
The merino wool.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is the new Frozen Gnome shirt, which I think is going to be a great layering winter shirt because it's pretty lightweight, and it's not fitted. It's definitely on the looser side, so you can like do a like I have a what is it? I forgot it. Just to your sweating. So if you start sweating, it actually cools down a little bit. I don't know. I forget some kind of technology, but that one keeps me really warm and it's kind of tight to your body. So I could throw this on over top of it and just feel secure with some more layers. And then I always wear a zip up jacket because then you can zip it down and zip it up and tie it around your waist if you need to, like you did today.
Yeah.
Then you had like your built-in skirt for your tush.
Right?
It's true.
Do we have any other tips that we want to share?
I know that all of us tend to have to run on the roads during the week, right? Because the forest is not generally outside any of our houses, but it is like 10 degrees warmer in the forest.
Yeah.
So if you can get to the forest, it's so much better. And by the river, it's like 10 degrees colder.
Yeah.
So I went running with 2 people on Friday, and one I was near the river and one I wasn't. And I was totally fine in the outfit I had on at the first run. And then I got to the river and I was like, oh no, I need like a whole nother layer for this activity. And it was, 2 hours later. So you think, oh, it should have warmed up by now, but absolutely not. I almost froze to death. So
that's such a really good point. Like I'm lucky. I wake up early. I usually start working at about 4:00 in the morning. And so I'm like boogieing to get done with everything I need to do. Because if I'm done by 2, then I can get my run done before it's dark out.
Okay.
And if it's cold, I for sure want to run in the forest because it's like warmer in the forest 100%. Without a doubt. Like once you get into the wood, like today, I'm like, we could add on time by going around the pond, but it's too cold around the pond.
You were like, I don't want to. And you were like, that area over there is very open. We should stay away from it. Let's go to these pine trees. And I was like, agreed. Let's go to the pine trees.
Yeah. So that's a really good point. And to try to like, if you can schedule yourself to be able to run in the forest, that's really great. Although speed work in forest isn't always the best.
It's not good.
So I do. I'm so excited. They don't plow our path by us, but I was so glad that it was melted. So that's why I did 2 like progression runs. I don't normally do 2 in a week, but I'm like, well, right now this might be the last time I see this path. It's going to be snow covered pretty soon.
Yeah, I like doing speed work, but right now because I have this injury, I'm supposed to do stairs, which I think people forget that stairs are also really good. So I like the stairs that keep moving. I think it's called the step mill because it keeps you honest. People are like, oh, why don't you just do the stairs outside? And I'm like, because I'm going to go super slow because I can, because they're not moving, whereas the one at the gym is going to keep moving, and if I don't keep moving, I'm going to fall off. So
yeah.
And I like splitting up all of my stuff because of the kids. Like I might only have an hour and a half in the morning, but then I can go out again at lunch, and then I might bring them with me to the gym and do something else later in the evening. And I do a lot of strength training because I'm dealing with this injury, so it makes it a lot easier. But I have to, I envy those people who can go out and be like, oh, I'm going to do a 20-miler. I'm like, oh, I might get 20 miles in today. It's going to be in 4 separate workouts.
Yeah, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
And I had a really great running coach for a while that she did break up my runs like that. And I averaged like 80 miles a week for a couple years with no injuries. And she split up my runs like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you're actually doing something really smart.
Oh, well, there we go. There we go. So maybe after this injury, I will not get any more.
Yeah.
So
well, the strength work is really smart. That's actually one of my goals right now is to find a way to do strength work that I enjoy. Like I have some that I'm doing, but I think I want to do it a little bit more social. I want to go someplace and do it with where other people are around. Because right now it's just me and the cats. And they're very interested in what I'm doing, but I just get kind of, and then I can hear like my phone beep, beep, beep. That means that I just got a message that somebody's asking me a question, and it's just very distracting. And so I'm thinking about joining a yoga studio or something like that because I want to work on strength and mobility.
I've been a member of the Y for like at least 30 years. I love the Y. There's so many people, especially if you go at the same time of day, like they will hold you accountable. They'll be like, you were not here on Monday. What were you doing? You know what I mean? And they'll comment on things. Most of the people are pretty respectful, but they're friendly. And I go in the morning, so it's mostly like older retired people, and they have so much to say. And I really, really like the Y. I like working out there. I like working out by myself, but I want to see all of those people. It's like we're working out together, but parallel.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Because I lift weights probably 4 to 6 days a week on top of all of my runs.
Do they have classes at the Y
They absolutely
with
do.
directions? Because I need some direction.
They have classes. They have personal trainers. There's a lot going on there. So there's something for everyone.
And you just went to our Y.
I did just go to your Y. So I did just go to your Y. I didn't get to spend as much time in there today as I wanted to. So when I come back in a couple of weeks, I'll explore it a little further. But your Y is nice.
Yeah.
Your Y is very nice.
And it's cool because you were telling me that if you join a Y, you can do them any place.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere in North America, if you have a Y membership. That's actually one of the reasons why I moved where I did, was because there was a good Y. Like, you can use a Y in Canada. You can use a Y anywhere in the United States. Like, there's reciprocal membership. So, if you're on a trip, that makes things really easy. I go and run in Dixon a lot, and they've got a Y there. And then, I come here, there's a Y here. So even just for things like, you're going out for beer with your friends right after, like I can zip over to Y and shower and then go out after. I really like that.
Yeah. Well, good. Is that everything that we got to share?
Yeah, I was just going to say strength training too. Like, this is a really good time for it. Especially because you might not be able to get outside every day because sometimes it's just unsafe to go outside with the poor weather.
Yeah.
And it could be a really good time to build some foundational strength training and get a good base for that and some consistency. Because that'll help you go into the spring you might do some faster stuff in the spring training for a big summer race or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to juggle. So Black Canyon's like February 11th, I think. Mm-hmm. So I came off of Tunnel Hill with 50 miles. So basically that ended up being like, I'm just continuing to train without really back off. And, but my goal is not high mileage. It's more consistent mileage and then to work on strength, because I think if I get stronger and just consistently run, rather than try to get, super high mileage, that I should be okay. Because I was very comfortable. For Tunnel Hill, the running part, I never felt like I needed to walk. It was, I definitely felt comfortable with that. I just need to get stronger for the big climbs and also the big downhill at the beginning.
Yeah,
So
I think definitely not enough people strength train, and I've had injuries where I legitimately could not do very many of my long runs, and just strength training got me through the race. So I had a torn meniscus where I couldn't run as much as I wanted, and my time wasn't great, but I was completely able to do the full distance of the race just because I was in the gym so often.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. I try and do other things also. I try and bike, I try and swim, and I would rather go in well rested and have a lot of cross training and be a little undertrained than go in overtrained and tired and having forced myself to do all the miles, especially if you're neglecting strength training, because that's when you're going to be in the race and you're going to be trying really hard and you're going to come out of there with an injury, and I don't have time for injuries.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think that we shared some really good stuff. We have at Ornery Mule Racing right now, I wanted to say we've got the volunteer party up. It's February 3rd. It's going to be at Veterans Acres at the Rotary Building, which is right by where, the start of the Frozen Gnome and the Earth Day and the Soul Crusher race. It's the same place we had the volunteer party last year. And let's see, so Danny and Matt, they also have a training run. I forgot to pull that up. Coming up. Well, we've got registration open. Let's see where it's at Castle Rock. Did you see that?
I did see there's a run at Castle Rock.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice park.
Yeah,
that's a nice park.
Week, yeah.
So December 17th at Castle Rock. It's Danny and Matt are putting that on. So if anybody wants to go to that. So did I say the date?
You did
December
December.
17th.
Isn't there something happening here with the Jeffs on the 16th also?
Oh yeah, then so on December 16th, there's a Frozen Gnome training run. The registration's open for all the Ornery Mule races next year. So Frozen Gnome, Earth Day, Galena Sky, Kettle Moraine's not open. That's opens January 1st. And it has been selling out within seconds for quite a few years. So you'll have to be on 11 a.m. Central Time. Then Galena Sky, which is so pretty. That's such a great race. But Kyle doesn't get to go this year.
Yeah.
And then what else do we got? Midwest States. Oh, we got a new belt buckle for doing Midwest States, Kettle Moraine 100, and Hennepin 100. And we have a really cool so if you go to ornerymuleracing.com, you can see that new belt buckle for doing those 3 races. And let's see, anything else? Yeah, so just follow our OMR Run Club page, and you can see about all the runs, and come join us. And that's where we'll post our run over by Natalie's house.
Oh yeah, we just gotta get ready to set that up. So
yeah. So, well, thanks everybody for listening.